Do you want an online course business, but you're just not sure how to get started with it? In this video, I'm going to talk to you step by step about how I got started with my online course business and how you can too. If we have not met before, hello, my name is Molly Kaiser. I am an online course expert who's done over $8 million in online course sales, and I am here to help you turn your passion into your very own online course so you can generate consistent passive income. All right, so in this video, I'm going to cover how I got started with my online course, what I would do if I was starting over from scratch, and what are the very first steps you should go through when starting your online course business. So let's get into it. All right, so here's how I got started with my very first online course. Now, at the time, I was a professional photographer. I had my own studio, staff, all this stuff, so I was super busy. So the very first thing I needed to do once I had my course idea, once I knew I wanted to have a course, I had to carve out 10 hours a week. Well, 5 hours a week minimum is what I recommend, but obviously the more you do, the more time you put in, the more work you put in, the faster you're going to see results. Now, for me at the time, I only had 10 hours a week that I could put in because I was running my full-time photography studio. So I went to my calendar, marked out 10 hours a week, and I decided that's the time I'm going to focus on the course. And this is the time I'm going to focus on my current business that is currently bringing me in my money. Okay. So once I had my calendar situation all figured out, I didn't really know what to do from there. I just had the idea. So I looked to other gurus and they were using these, now what I know is these outdated traditional launch methods, if you will. So I'm going to skip through this quickly because a lot of you already know this story from my other videos, but I followed that method. So that method was like spend months and months and months building a following, write a sales page, write emails, build your course out first, like do all this stuff. I spent 6 to 12 months like building this following, building out the course, like doing all of this stuff only for it to flop. Okay. So I don't want to talk a whole lot about that because I don't want you to even subconsciously like accidentally do those outdated methods that I did because that didn't work. Okay. Okay. So after I tried all that stuff and it flopped, I thought, you know what? I'm going to try things my own way. Okay. So this is where things get interesting. This is where you're going to want to start taking notes. Okay. So what I decided to do was instead of crossing my fingers and putting all this work and time and money up front and just hoping people buy, I decided, you know what? I'm just going to sell first. And this is where a lot of people are like, that's a scam. You can't sell things that aren't already created. Okay. First of all, I'm going to explain all of this, but second of all, think of it like a workshop. Okay. People sell workshops all the time and all they have is their curriculum. Like it's kind of like taking a college class. Like you're buying something that doesn't technically exist yet, but you're paying money to learn information, right? So what I decided to do was, I had my course idea, I came up with the curriculum, and I decided to start telling people, hey, this is the course I'm going to do. Here's what you're going to learn. This is the result. Here's what it's about. I'm actually going to host the very first round live. It's going to start on this date. Okay. You can pay XYZ to sign up right now. And we're going to get started on X date. And every week I'm going to teach XYZ. And the result you're going to get by the end of the course is XYZ. So now you're probably wondering, okay, that's great. I get it. Come up with my course, come up with my curriculum, pick a date, teach little bits of it every single week, record everything. And then not only will you get paid up front, but you'll have your course recorded at the end. Okay, Molly, we get this, right? But who am I going to sell this to? What if I don't have a following, right? So for me, I had taken that guru's advice and spent all those months and months and months building up that following, but none of them were actually like buyers. None of them were actually interested in like spending money with me because I had just like thrown free stuff, giveaways, all these things, right? So what I did next is what I would still recommend today. Okay. So what I did next was I decided to start a Facebook group. Okay. And name it something that would attract my ideal buyers, my ideal potential buyers. Okay. So at the time I called this group portrait photographers. So I just wanted to attract portrait photographers. I've learned a lot, could have went more specific with it, whatever. It ended up working out, but that's what I would recommend for you is like, come up with a name for a group. And, Facebook groups still work amazingly. I still teach this to my students today, but if you're more of like a Discord person or a LinkedIn person, this method can still work. You just really need to have somewhere that you can grow a community quickly, and you only need to grow it to 1 to 200 people to get your first $10,000+ in sales. So that's what I did back then, and that's what I still do today. The most recent course that what I now call is my Profitable Course Kickstart method. So my most recent course that I kickstarted was in 2020. I did this exact same thing. I created a group, named it, got a bunch of people in that group that were my ideal potential buyers, and I ended up doing just under $17,000 in the first 30 days. So again, come up with your idea, come up with the curriculum, come up with the price, come up with the date you're going to go live with it, and then create a group of potential buyers. You're going to post in there, let them like nurture them, give them some good free content, but then mostly tell them, hey, I have this thing coming up. You know, if you're interested, let me know. And then they're going to invite you to message them because they're commenting saying, I'm interested. And then you're just simply going to just have a conversation with them, just message them, let them know about this live course that you're hosting, how much it is, what it entails, what the result is, and then they can tell you if they're interested in purchasing it or not. So you should be able to convert 5 to 10% of those in your group. And so you're only going to need like 100 to 200 people in that group to get like that first round of students. And essentially this is just for you to prove that people want to buy this thing. And it freaking kills me when I see other people like spending months and months and months and months, even years, building out these courses when they haven't even had one sale. They don't even know people are going to buy this. Like they haven't proven the concept of their product in the market. And then I see all the time people message me almost every single day, like, Molly, I spent months, I spent years building out this course, but I don't have any sales. And, you know, I would love to say like, oh, just do this one thing and you'll have sales. But the truth is that you need to do everything from the beginning, like nail the messaging, nail the ideal client, nail the curriculum, like do all these things. And that's why doing the Kickstart version that I just talked about is so crucial, because then you're getting money up front. So it's like, oh, worst case scenario, nobody buys it. And then you could just try a different idea, right? You're not out anything. You haven't wasted your time and money building out a course. This is proof of concept. And this is crucial to being successful with your online course. Okay. So that's how I got started with my course, came up with my idea, blocked out 10 hours, did my Kickstart method, did my proof of concept, got my first students. And then I spent the next, several weeks teaching that course, answering questions, creating any kind of downloads or spreadsheets or worksheets that were needed. The cool thing is that if you create your course before you sell it, you're just making what you think people want. You're just like, oh, I hope they want this. I hope this helps them. But if you do my Kickstart method that I just talked about, they're going to be asking you questions in the group that you're going to be doing while you're teaching the course live. They'll be asking you questions. They're going to be like, oh, I'm confused on this, or I wish you had a download on this. They're going to be there with you, helping you create the best course possible. So it's like, not only do you get paid up front, not only do you prove your concept, but you're going to create the best course possible. You're going to get immediate, consistent feedback from your students in that live round. And then you can take all those recordings and you can put them into a course hosting platform. I use, this doesn't say Kajabi, but this is a Kajabi shirt, but I use the Kajabi software if you're interested. And then you host it in a platform, Kajabi or another one, whatever you prefer. And then you can use other marketing and sales techniques to get consistent sales after that. But you have to do this in phases. Phase 1, proof of concept, do your profitable course Kickstart. And that's exactly how I got started. And that's exactly how I start with every single one of my courses. Okay, so what would I do if I was starting completely over from scratch? I would do this exact same thing. I'll just go through it really quickly. But again, I would come up with what's the thing I'm going to help someone with? What's the result I'm going to get someone? AKA, what's the course? I'm going to name the course, come up with the curriculum for the course and the price, come up with what date I want to go live with it. And then I would start a group that's going to attract my ideal potential customers, build up that group to 1 to 200 people in just a matter of days. Last time I did it, it took me 3 days. And then I would start having conversations with these people and enroll them into the first live round of my course, which you only need to do it once live. And I only do it once live because then you have all the recordings and you can put it into your course hosting software. It's exactly what I would do. Okay. And here's the new part. Here's the part that you haven't heard yet. So once you put it in the course hosting software, okay, that is when I would recommend. And well, what I do is I start doing live webinars. Okay. So I would come up with a presentation that would educate, entertain, and sell my ideal customers into my course. And I would do that webinar live over and over and over every single week until it was consistently converting with good numbers. Now, what are good numbers? You want to see about a 30% show up rate, maybe higher if you're doing organic traffic. Then what you want to see is a 5 to 20% conversion rate of those who are on the webinar that purchase. Again, this can depend and vary depending on if you're doing cold or organic traffic. So like paid ads versus organic traffic that already knows of you. But that's what I would do. I would do it live every single week until I had all those good numbers. And then I would automate it. Then I would put it into what I call an automated webinar funnel, which if you want to see exactly what an automated webinar funnel is, if you want to see my exact automated webinar funnel, what all the steps are, how it works, and all that good stuff, I'm going to be mentioning that at the end of this video. So you can go ahead and sign up. It's totally free and you'll be able to actually see step by step what an automated webinar webinar funnel actually is and how I enroll people into my course, because I can sit here and tell you all about it, but it's actually best to just like see it with your own eyes and how it all works, right? All right. And then once I have the course hosted, once I have the automated webinar funnel running and it works and it converts and it's consistent, now it's all about traffic. Okay. And this is the point that I'm in with my course, Profitable Courses. I've done the Kickstart, I've done the live webinars, I've done the automated webinar funnel. It converts. It's awesome. And now it's all about traffic. Okay. So for you higher level people, this might be interesting for you, but really it's all about creating better content and creating more content on more platforms. But again, just like I just showed you with courses, you have to do it in stages. It's not like day one, I was like, oh, I'm going to post 3 times a day on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Like, that's impossible, right? So I started once a week on Instagram. Then I started once a week on TikTok, once a week on YouTube. Then I went to every single day on those platforms. Then I went to twice a day. And now we're at 3 times a day at the time that I'm recording this video. It's all about more and more and more and more traffic, because I know the more traffic that I am going to get, the more people that are going to go to my automated webinar funnel. And the more people that go to that, the more people I'm going to convert. Now you might be wondering, but Molly, how do you get your social media following to sign up for your automated webinar funnel? There's several ways I do that. And maybe I need to make a whole video about that. Let me know below, like, would that interest you guys? Like, how do I run traffic to the automated webinar funnel? How does it work? What are the stats? How can you do it? Let me know in the comments below. Just be like, yes, I'm interested in the automated webinar funnel video, and I'll make that for you guys. But really quickly, without like expanding too much on it, essentially what I do is I just put a lot of good content, a lot of volume of good content. And then I have like these, they're called link trees, just a link in my bio of each of my different social media platforms. And then that promotes the webinar. And I have that on Instagram and TikTok. There's different ways we do it in my Facebook group. We have over 6,200 people in my Facebook group now. And then YouTube, YouTube I promote. You'll see the automated webinar I promote at the end of each video. And it's also in my bio by the timeline photo at the top of my YouTube channel as well. Okay, so bottom line is, if you haven't even made $1 with your online course, or let's say even less than $1,000 with your online course, then don't start with the advanced stuff that I told you about with automated webinar funnels. What you need to start with is, who's your ideal customer? What is your offer? What is the result you're getting them with your course? That is the most important part. What's the curriculum? And then teach it live. Even if you're somebody who's like, but Molly, I've already built up my course. If it's selling, it doesn't matter. I just want to like shake you through the screen, because you need to have those conversations with customers so that, maybe you can find out why your course isn't selling. But if you are not doing this, teaching the first round as a live workshop, and you're not talking with customers and getting feedback as you go, you're not learning. And there's no way you're ever going to learn why your course isn't selling. So whether you have your course made or not, if you haven't made enough sales with it, again, start out with knowing who your ideal customer is, knowing what the result is your course gets. Start with that small following, teach your course live, get those first sales, get those first results and testimonials from your students, make your course better, host it in course hosting software, do your live webinars every week, get them converting, put it into an automated webinar funnel, and so many steps. I know, but the thing is that don't get overwhelmed by those steps. Just start out with those first steps that I talked about, because really everything has to go step by step. And the coolest thing is you're going to grow a following along the way. You're going to build a better course along the way, and you're going to get paid along the way too. So I'm really excited. What I would love for you to do is comment your course idea below so I can encourage you and just like cheer you on, because it's so exciting. So that's how I got started with my first online course. And I don't even think I shared with you what my first online course was, but you probably gathered I was a photographer and I started a photography group. And so yes, my first course was for photographers. So that is how I got started with my first course. And this is what I would do if I was starting today. And this is exactly what I think you should do step by step as well. Now, if you're sitting here and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm super overwhelmed. I have a lot of questions. I'm not sure how to come up with my course idea. I'm not sure if it's going to be profitable. I don't know how to create my curriculum, and I don't know how to grow that first following and get those first sales. Do not worry. As promised, I'm going to mention to you guys my automated webinar funnel, and it's going to teach you all of that stuff for free. And it's going to show you at the very, very end, my full course called Profitable Courses, and how it can help you if you're interested in joining that. So I'm going to pull down my screen, pull up my slides, and show you click by click how you can register for your free seat for this on-demand training. And I can't wait to see you there. All right. So all you have to do is go to profitablecourses.com/class, and it's going to bring up a page that looks like this. The design might look exactly like this, or it might look a little bit different because we do split test the pages. But just know that you're on the right page as long as it says that this is my free instant workshop on how to create your own online course that generates consistent passive income. I'm so freaking stoked. You are going to learn a lot. This is value packed. All right. So you're going to learn how to discover your $1 million course idea and how to position it for profitability. You're going to learn how to design your course curriculum like a professional in 60 minutes or less. And you're going to learn how to start profiting from your course idea in the next 30 days, and then how to automate sales for passive income, just like I have done. All right. So all you have to do is go to that link, click on register now. You're simply just going to fill in your name, your email address, select the date and time you want to watch it at, and then you're going to click register now, and you're going to be able to watch it instantly or at the date and time that you have selected. I cannot wait to see you inside.